The latest out here with Third Movement. I want to talk about what's going on over in Egypt. I kind of been there off and on in my mind with the news and everything. Just I don't know. I've been listening here, listening there. From what I gather, they threw out the original president, Barbari, or whatever his name is, and they put in a guy from the Muslim Brotherhood, and he was supposed to be trying to change some things. Well, the only thing he was trying to change was he was trying to bring in Sharia law, whatever it's Sharia law. I'm sorry. Wow, I made that word. I messed that word up horribly. But he was trying to bring in that law, the Muslim law, and the people didn't want that. So they started, and the government, the military government overthrew it. And some people are calling it a coup, and some people are not. And I don't want to get into the whole aspect of coup, what is a coup and all that. Google coup. You'll find out what it is. What I want to get to the aspect is, last week, 700 people was killed. That sounds like a war to me. Sounds like there's and then there is a war. There's pretty much a civil war going on over there. And this is not being told. You're not being told that there's a civil war going on, and there's a civil war. I'm never for war, but I understand war. And I said I understand all wars, but this war I understand, and it's basically the people against the Muslim Brotherhood, which is very strong. The Muslim Brotherhood over there is very strong. And I just want to say, we have to pray for the brothers and sisters in Egypt. There's a strong Christian presence over there, and they are dying. They're not just dying. Their businesses are getting smashed up or whatever, and they're even if they don't die and their business get messed up, they're not able to eat. So a lot of times we can look at the world from the Western view. Remember, as Christians, we're very blessed over here. We're probably experiencing more grace in America than any other place in the history of Christianity. There's never been an experience of grace like there is now. I'm talking about, we can literally I can go in the street and preach the word of God without much flack. Now there is flack at certain places we're losing the freedoms, but we have the freedoms. We may be losing, but we have them. You're not hearing people die over here because the word of God. Over there, people are literally dying because they believe in Jesus Christ. The Muslims believe that if you claim another God, or if you claim pretty much Christianity, you are worse than you are infidel to them. Not worse than infidel. You are infidel to them, and you should not be on this earth. That's literally what they believe. I will say this: in America, we are getting Muslim. We're getting Muslimanity, however you say it, whatever the religion, how you say the religion. We're getting that fed to us right now in a very positive light, and it's not. I do believe that that not all Muslims are these people that's gonna get on a plane and suit up a bomb and blow buildings up. That's not all Muslim. There's some really, really good Muslims out there, but the majority of the religion is a violent religion. I've been doing a light study on Muslims. I think that's going to be, I want to word this correctly. I think that the Muslims is going to be a big, I don't want to say fight or a big war here, but I do believe that Muslims is going to come to America, and we're going to have some problems with the Muslims. I mean, the Muslims are very, very, very smart people, and they're very loyal to what they believe in. And a lot of times they do believe in blowing you up, but a lot of times they're patient and they'll come in and they'll build, and next thing you know, they'll take over just through, you know, sheer numbers. I remember a couple of weeks ago, about 2 years ago, I read that, you know, they was giving houses away in Detroit for $1, you know, and I read a couple of months ago that the majority of the people that brought them houses for $1 in Michigan, in the Detroit area, was Muslim. So you're talking about now in Detroit, there's a high number of Muslims. Even in Tennessee, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, there are high numbers of Muslims in this state. And the first thing they're trying to do right now is trying to, you know, insert Sharia law. They're trying to insert Sharia law over their people in here and take out the constitutional. And so far we've been successful to fight them. But getting back to Egypt, there's a big number of Muslims over there, and they literally hate Christians. So what's going over there in Egypt is the Christians are tired of it, and they're fighting back. Now, I'm anxious to see, because I really do believe they're gonna put this on the Christian people over there, and I do think this is gonna be put on the government people over there. And I think what really needs to happen is the United States really and the rest of the world really need to stay out of this. What they're not telling you is that the United States is the one that puts a lot of the guns into the hands of the people over there. A lot of the hands of a lot of the Muslims or whatever. If you go and look it up, you'll see that, you know, a lot of the stuff that's going over there, it's a lot of the United States handprints on it. So, you know, I think we just need to stay out of it and let their country have their war, their civil war. And they're gonna listen. People in war, there's gonna be lives lost, but they're gonna be all right if, you know, if I believe if we let, you know, the good people prevail. And I do believe that the good people prevail. I do believe that God is doing something over there in Egypt. I really do believe that, you know, that certain entities meddle a lot over there because they have interest, and a big interest. Egypt going to play a big role, you know, in everything. From now on, Egypt just plays a big role, period, over there in Africa and the Middle East and all that. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, how this thing turn out. We really have to pray for the Christians over there. We really have to pray for God's safety. Understand that looking for things from the West, we have the freedom that they don't, and they just want the freedoms. And they believe they're going to have to fight for them. At one point, we fought for the things that we want. Even though our freedoms are fleeting, at some point, I do believe that we're going to, and I'm not talking about literally war and all that, but I do believe we're going to have to fight for our freedoms. I believe in nonviolence, so I don't think we're going to have to, I really don't believe we have to, you know, looking at the king, and then I hate to say, you know, king, but looking at the whole, what was the civil rights and everything. King was one of the strongest, and he led a non-violent. Everything was non-violent, and that worked out pretty well. But anyways, so I just think we need to pray for Egypt, and pray for the violence to stop, and pray for good to prevail. Today show third movement. I'm sorry I really didn't want to make it just give information about Egypt and about what's going on. There's a lot of places on YouTube you can go and get information. I just want to promote prayer over there. I want to promote that. We just pray for everything going on over there. Today show third movement. I'm out.